it's all good to bank on what happens in professional golf and hits the headlines, but basically we're, as I said, creating heroes and creating the future of golf, and hopefully nurturing some lesser nations and some countries with federations that don't have the resources to provide this sort of experience for their players. And doing that, I think, has provided enormous satisfaction to our three organizations.
So Jeronimo, it's great to catch up with you, man. Yeah. I was saying, when I saw that you were here, I was like, we got to speak with Jeronimo. Legend in American golf. No. You are, man. Your name comes up all over the place. Man. All over the place.
Hopefully only good things.
Everyone, folks in accomplished amateur play know you or have crossed paths with you and have such wonderful things to say. But here we are. We're in Peru.
Yeah.
So you've got Team Puerto Rico on.
Yes, sir.
That's where your family came from.
Yes, sir.
And you now live in...
I live in Orlando, Orlando, Florida. So I was born in Puerto Rico and grew up, I was there till I was 10 years old. Yeah. And then we moved to Miami in 1990 and kind of grew up in Miami and been in Orlando now 16 years.
Yeah, and now we're down here. Your career has been, I was thinking about, what you've done in golf and what you've done professionally as well. And we had Buddy Marucci on the pod not that long ago, and I thought there's a little bit of a Buddy Marucci path here because you're in the car business. Yeah. You're a businessman, yes, but you've had all these accomplishments in golf as well.
Well, Buddy is an absolute legend. I am like a mini gnome in the garden of Buddy Marucci. No, and I couldn't touch his shoelaces, but I guess it's similar paths, but he has had way more success.
Well, you've got to have success to be here at the LAAC. What does it mean to be playing in the LAAC representing Puerto Rico? You've done it a few times, I guess?
Yeah, this is, so I guess this is the 11th tournament, and I played in 10 of them. The only one I missed was my son's birthday. My youngest son's January 17th, which will be Friday. I'll miss it this year, but that's when he was born. So I think if I would have missed his birth, my wife would probably not be happy with me, man.
You wouldn't be playing in a lot of LAACs.
No, I think wouldn't be playing in anything at all. Yeah.
So what is obviously a lot at stake for the winner this week. But it's my first time coming to a LAAC. It's our first time here. The vibe's incredible. I mean, it's got major championship vibes, but there's also an incredible, there's a lot of the welcome's fantastic, a lot of gratitude, a lot of joy around it, a lot of excitement. What do you love about it?
Yeah, I think you nailed it, man. I think this tournament, I've been lucky, played professional events, tour events, USAMs, all that stuff. This is, to me, the best run tournament I've ever played. I think this is as close to, would be to playing maybe in the Masters as you could feel. The way they treat us, you really feel like you're very important. They take care of everything. I think the camaraderie with the players is also incredible. Just everybody's here. All the players are extremely grateful for the opportunity or what we're competing for. I mean, the payoff is life-changing for everybody, and I think everybody's here just so excited, so happy, so grateful for the opportunity that the Masters, the USGA, and the R&A present to us.
Yeah, there's nothing jaded about this.
No.
And competitive golf, you get some of that, but not here, man.
No, and they do such a good job of kind of keeping it front and center. Like, hey, this is what you're playing for. This is the deal. And you have the guys from Augusta, the members walking around in green jackets. Like, it's in your face all the time, and I think it adds to the whole vibe of the event. And you'll see, I would doubt you'll see a single person misbehave. Everybody here is on their best behavior. Everybody here knows what's at stake. And again, everybody here is extremely grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. So you've been around the block a little bit, played in a lot of these and played a lot of amateur golf. And there are some kids, there's some very young folks here as well. Yeah. What wisdom would you have to share with a young player, maybe teeing it up in his first LAAC?
Yeah, I think, one of the big things is at the end of the day, this is just a golf course. You have to remove yourself, even though they you'll tee off and there's a Masters, trophy, in your face. You have to remove yourself from hey man, I'm here because I can play golf. I'm here because I'm a good golfer, and I am just playing golf on another golf course. And the more you can kind of get down to just that and eliminate everything else, I think the better you do. And I think the young kids is just in awe, because I guarantee you now, again, this is my 10th, you're kind of getting used to the treatment and the way, the vibes, but a young kid, from, either in Puerto Rico or Ecuador or Bolivia, wherever, they've never seen anything like this. They've never seen this level of preparation, of organization, the volunteers. They just, it's overwhelming, really. And then you can tense up pretty easily.
Yeah, for sure. When you're thinking, thinking back on your LAAC experience, is there a story or a moment that stands out to you as this, like, wow, man, this is really something different? Maybe a memory of, like, this really gave me something.
Yeah, I think it was the second event. The first one was in Argentina. I think the second one was in Panama, and I had played I had played a tournament at Seminole and the Coleman, and I was playing well that week. It's like the third round, and I'm between the 9th and the 10th hole, and here are all these members from Augusta that are members at Seminole, that are like, come on, Jeronimo. And I'm like, this is insane. What is happening, man? So that was one of those cool moments, that was a lot of fun.
Well, you have the benefit of quite a memorable, especially with the American pronunciation, very memorable name.
Yeah,
That's why I've heard it all over the place. But you've also got, I think a story people remember as a really inspiring one. That you've overcome cancer, and that in some ways, maybe that rekindled your love or the importance of golf in your life.
Yeah, man. That was 2011. I had just turned 30 and was playing the club championship at Indian Creek, and I had this big mass on my neck. I had no idea, and you're right. I got very lucky. We caught it early. I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, which every doctor will tell you if they're going to have a cancer, that's the one they have. So, but you're not aware of that when it's happening, and they tell you have cancer, man. It really, the amount of stuff that goes through your head was crazy. And it really, you're 100% right. It changed my outlook on everything, on life, on what's important, on what golf meant to me, because golf was a release. And at that point, I was really trying to compete hard and be, a really good amateur and kind of grinding. And I was really grinding at work, and it was like a grind, and I was a workaholic, and, maybe I wasn't spending, I was working 78 hours a week plus trying to practice. I wasn't spending a lot of time at home with my wife and the kid, and it 100%, makes you realize what's important. It 100% made me realize what golf means to me. Golf is an escape. Golf is fun. Golf, I love to compete. I love the game. I love to get better, but this is not my job. I do this for fun. I do this because I want to. And you're 100% right. It kind of made me love it even more. Like, hey, man, I really want, in this really stressful time in my life, man, I really want to go to the golf course. I really want to be outside, I really want to feel and hit some balls and work on my short game, and the camaraderie that golf, most important. When I did my treatment in Houston, and my dad joined Champions Golf Club, and man, the guys I met there, they were so welcoming to me, so understanding. Some of those guys are still some of my best friends, and that's what golf is about, and hanging out in the locker room after, and and competing hard, but then kind of being friends, going to dinner, and that's why I love the mid-am game, man. We are the luckiest guys in the universe to be able to compete on the golf courses we compete on, to see, man, the mid-ams I play against are some of my best friends, man, and it's just awesome, man. This game is just so rewarding, and I'm just, really, really blessed, man.
Yeah, and this is certainly a week that will remind you to not take it for granted. Yeah. This is definitely an opportunity to look around and be like, man,
that's right.
Take stock and say, this is pretty good stuff.
That's right.
Before you go, I know you've got to go play.
Yeah.
And get ready. We don't want to interfere with that, but is it true that you learned golf from Chichi Rodriguez?
Yeah, man, he was my first instructor, man. He was, yeah. I was a kid. My dad was good friends with his brother, played golf with him all the time, with Jesus. And, when I was young, my dad said when I was 5, I could hit it 150 yards. So he really thought I was going to be the next Chichi Rodriguez, so who better to take lessons from than from Chichi Rodriguez. So yeah, Chichi gave me a couple lessons when I was a kid, and he taught me, man, basically when I was little, to hit the ball hard, because then I could always learn how to hit it straight, and then to hit the ball high, because guys that hit it high could always hit it low. But if you naturally hit it low, it's really hard for you to hit it high. So those were like very basic lessons. I mean, I was 5, 6 years old. These are the things that, I remember working on, yeah. But my dad, was the one that helped me when I was a kid. And then, I kind of didn't play much. I played with him sparingly. And then my freshman year in high school, I tried out for the golf team and I was terrible. And I told my dad, I was like, hey man, I really need help, and that's when, started working with some great guys at McLean down in Miami, and those are the guys that really and then Brian Mogg. I've had a couple teachers throughout my life, but yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So from a terrible freshman high school golfer to one of the great mid-ams in the game, here about to tee it up in the LAAC with an opportunity to play in 3 major championships, man. What a journey.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. And I'm ready, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for the opportunity, man. I feel good.
Well, thank you for giving us some time. We're going to be pulling for you this week.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right, Mark, let's talk some golf.
Yeah, sure.
That's what we're here for. So we're here at the Lima Golf Club for the 11th edition of the LAAC, and you've been involved from the very start.
That's some time ago, and I can recall vividly when the leadership of all 3 organizations met in Buenos Aires the year before the first LAAC began and presented the event to the world. And it was a very exciting moment for golf in our region. I would say it's probably one of the big game changers for amateur golf in our region. Thereafter came the women's amateur Latin America and helped out the women's game. But I think the kickoff with the Latin American amateur being held in Buenos Aires back in 2015, that was definitely new world, uncharted territory for the amateur game, and has definitely produced a new perception of the amateur game, and the depth of the game in the region has decidedly grown because of it.
Now, would you say that would have been really one of the goals and one of the hopes or expectations was to highlight, well, I guess it's both to highlight the depth of amateur golf around the world and also to develop it too.
We use the term legacy, create legacy. Create heroes, I recall, was the term Chairman Billy Payne used, which I thought was a very good phrase to coin. And I think if you create heroes, you're in a way creating the traction for more people to want to get into the game, especially young people. And hopefully we've achieved that. When I talk about legacy, I mean the experience for each of these countries we go to and the impact we hope we have on the game in terms of they are involved, the local federation, the club, wherever this event is held, with the organization that run 3 majors. So from setup in the morning to functions to all the running of an event of this nature, all that is experience that is gained by the locals before a golf ball's been hit. And this experience usually is about a year or so before you're actually hitting your first shot here. So there's a lot of people in Peru, in this case, that have undoubtedly gained extremely valuable experience from probably the best in the game in terms of how you prepare a course, the agronomy, how you run the rules, how you run the championship, how you conduct a virtually major event for amateurs.
It feels very much like a major. I mean, the vibe here, getting here yesterday, sort of, I think for amateur golf, it certainly is a major. There's a lot at stake this week. A hero will be made. For folks who might not know exactly what is at stake for the winner, can you tell us?
Well, unbelievably as it sounds, the winner of LAAC will be playing in 3 majors. And I very often say to these young kids playing here, there are professional golfers that sometimes don't play a major in their career, or maybe play one or two, and you're going to have the opportunity of playing 3 in 1 year. So hopefully you're going to understand what you're about to achieve, and if you do achieve it, savor the moment. Understand that you're being given an opportunity that very few golfers in the world ever get. So hopefully we've been able to transmit what that means, and people are beginning to understand that you don't take that lightly. It's a very special week, not only just for being here, but because if you are here and you actually win, you're going to go through an experience that very few get to have. So it's a great championship for those who come here, for those who make the cut, for those who are in contention on the weekend. There's a sort of segmentation of experiences according to who you are and what you mean and how you come here. But that being said, let's not forget that the Cayman Islands has a winner. Costa Rica has a winner. So it's not just the big nations, not the big golfing nations that have produced winners. And these guys have become virtually national heroes overnight for having been able to achieve winning the Latin American Amateur.
And playing in the Masters, the US Open, the Open Championship.
And making the cut.
Making the cut. It's extraordinary.
Yeah.
So you talk about taking the event, gets to all these different places in Latin America. Why Peru, and what were some of the challenges here?
Well, Peru has a very particular story, which is when the Peru Federation and the club approached us for the opportunity to host the event. I've known this course for, well, all my golf life. And I said, guys, you've got a few challenges before even raising your hand and presenting your candidacy. And I explained that practice area, driving range, etc., were just not up to standard. So they went ahead and said, well, what do we need to do? And I said, well, you need to revamp all that and get it into shape. And they dove right into it. Martin Ebert from Mackenzie and Ebert was eventually contracted and did this wonderful job within this very restricted space. I mean, this is a very small piece of property to fit everything you need to fit in. And well, Martin Ebert did a wonderful job. The club really gave it their all, invested heavily, and then we had COVID. Once they'd been nominated, we got hit by COVID. So first phone call, sorry guys, we're not going to be able to make it. We reset the date, and the second time around there was political unrest and it didn't look safe to come. So I had the second phone call with the leadership here at the club explaining that we didn't think the time was right, but I'm sure we could reschedule. So this meant that was the second phone call, and LAAC wasn't coming here. And maybe people don't know, but about 3-4 months ago, Peru went to a little situation of social and political unrest, and we were monitoring the situation very closely because we were concerned that maybe we wouldn't be able to come yet again. And I was just hoping hard I didn't have to make that third phone call. Well, it blew over, and fortunately everything has turned out well, and we're extremely pleased to be here. Although it did sort of make us wonder if there was going to be a third time curse. Sure. But we made it in the end.
Why such a commitment to coming to Peru, aside from you're going to eat very well that week? Food down here has been really good.
This club's a very special place, and I think it adds to the mix. We go from Casa de Campo and places like that, Pilar Golf, to a completely different experience. I mean, here we are sitting in the middle of town, surrounded by high rises, which is something, really strange to many of these youngsters, and an old school golf course, which is completely different to what we've been, or they are more accustomed to nowadays. So I think it kind of shakes up the rotor of the event and shakes it up in a nice way. And I think we come to experience the club, we come to experience the members, all that sometimes a resort does not provide. And I'm sure you're going to see a lot of people here watching, because this is a club with members who are going to want to see what happens at their club. So we're very excited about what we think is going to happen here this week.
It is exciting. I mean, when we saw a picture of this place, we just said we have to be here. It's like somebody turned Central Park in New York City, and if that was a golf course. It's a fascinating setting, and a beautiful city. We've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed probably though the vibe the most that I'm getting from players, executives, everybody here. There seems to be a sense of gratitude. There's a sense of joy. People very happy not just to be here, but to have this opportunity. There's nothing jaded about this. And that in competitive golf is a pretty cool thing.
I think you hit it on the nail. I think there's a freshness about what's going to happen here this week, and a very genuine feeling of this being a club that is geared to amateur golf. This club is not particularly geared to hosting major professional events. They could if they wanted to, but they're very mindful about helping the amateur game. And I don't think there is many better ways than helping the amateur game than what they've done. Last year hosting the Women's Amateur Latin America here very successfully. This year hosting the Latin America Amateur Championship, and there's celebrations in between because the club's centenary. The whole thing has kind of gelled absolutely perfectly, despite all that sort of prequel we had, which is complete uncertainty as to whether we're going to be here or not. So it is really nice, and I think there's a genuine feeling of satisfaction all around.
As there should be. So as you're looking back on, this is the 11th LAAC. Thinking about what your hopes and expectations for going into, when the LAAC's announced to where we are here. Now, how have they differed, exceeded, places you still room to grow?
I would say, and I think without any doubt, that the way this event's developed has exceeded our expectations, and the offshoots that we're beginning to have, like LAAC Academy, which is from LAAC, we help fund an experience for the countries with less resources, players with less resources, and the Academy is a gathering of players from these countries with less resources, where we provide them with a full sort of coaching experience for a week, and follow them up. And tonight we will be having dinner with those young gentlemen and their coaches that we've taken on to guide them through their high performance amateur life and assist them. So as I say, there's the spin-offs from the event that are beginning to materialize as we see the event mature, as we see the event becoming more and more important. And today, I would say without any doubt, this is the event around which these amateur players build their season, their calendar. They want to peak this week. They know it's the most important week of their calendar year, amateur career probably, A lot hinges on what happens this week, and we're very proud to being able to provide this moment for them.
And I don't want to speak for, well, at least from the R&A's perspective, and not speaking for the Masters or the USGA. You know, the investment in this event, the investment in these players, the investment in the academy. It spells to me that, you know, when you think of the governing bodies, you think of the big championships, the Open, the Masters, the US Open. But this kind of week, it suggests to me that the priorities of what the R&A and the USGA and the Masters are interested in might not just be that.
I believe that it really has a lot to do with what all three organizations do day in, day out throughout the year. It's just that people see that bit a little less. And obviously, all we do, all three organizations, will get overshadowed by hosting major championships, and that will probably, you know, make the news and splash over the world. But I do also believe that it's probably this sort of undertaking that we're most proud of. I think, sincerely, for all the meaning of, in our case, the Open Championship, obviously, and the tradition and heritage, and this is very special in terms of what we're doing for the future of golf, because it's all good to bank on what happens in professional golf and hits the headlines, but basically we're, as I said, creating heroes and creating the future of golf, and hopefully nurturing some lesser nations and some countries with federations that don't have the resources to provide this sort of experience for their players, and doing that, I think, has provided enormous satisfaction to our three organizations.
As it should, and it's fun. It's a joyful place to be. We're so happy to be here. In your time here, can you tell us a story of any moment where you felt like, yeah, we might be getting this right?
Well, obviously there are many. I recall that the first time the LAAC was played, the gentleman that came to represent Haiti was afraid to travel on planes, so he took a bus ride, traveled for I don't know how many thousands of hours to get to wherever he had to get, which was Casa Campo, by the way, then. And when he arrived, we noticed that his kit was, shall we say, slightly below standard. And our first reaction, and probably it was the first piece of legacy, was we got to help this guy out with some kit. And we did. We decked him out to look good for the tournament, got him proper clubs, which he went out on the range and practiced with. And I think that, in a way, in a nutshell, explains what we're trying to do. And that person from Haiti, who came from a virtually devastated nation. I mean, Haiti's been hit by everything you can think of. Capturing his smile when we were able to help him, I think certainly made us all realize everything we were going to do was going to be worthwhile.
And it has been. And here we are in Peru. Going to have a great week.
I hope that everything that has to go right goes right, and everything that isn't.
I hope that for you as well, Mark. Can't thank you enough for joining us.
Thank you for coming. I always say the same. Part of the legacy is also created by being able to amplify the message and put it out there. And you guys are doing us a big favor by helping us put the message out there. Let them know what's happening. Hopefully inspire those listening, watching, to make this a goal, to come here and play, represent your country. It doesn't get much better than that.
No, it doesn't. Thanks, Mark. anyone watching this, you can see the width of the whole golf course. I mean, we're looking a couple hundred yards that way, a couple hundred yards that way. Here we are. We are in the heart of Lima.
We're in the heart of Lima. This is a club that is turning 101 years. In those 100 years, we were even first here than the city. No? Then the city has been grow surrounding our club, and that's why in real estate, the higher real estate is in front of the club.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice area here. We're staying in the hotel down the road, and the golf club is beautiful, and it's such a unique setting to be surrounded by a city. Now, you know the golf course pretty well.
Yes, I think so.
Tell us about the course and what people can expect this week watching the LAAC.
Well, this is as I said previously, this is a golf course that has 100 years. So, and our footprint is kind of small, and we cannot grow anymore because we are surrounded by buildings. So, that being said, and with the technology and these kids that they hit very hard the ball, the way that we protect our course is with a rough. Right now the rough is high. Sometimes you won't even find your ball. So I think that the players that can have the best course management and keep it in the fairway should be the ones with more possibility to play, no? And there are some key holes that can make the difference of how you are going and can help you to have a good result, or if you don't have a strong mind, can help you to destroy your round.
Yeah, small greens, narrow fairways, precision going to be important. What are the key holes, do you think, for people to watch?
Well, for me, in the front nine, I think the hole 4, that is a par 3, is kind of complicated. And then you have the 5th and 6th hole. For me, the 6th hole is the toughest hole of the first round.
Yes.
Okay, and well, we call it the 5 and the 6 here, the amen corner.
Amen corner, yes. Well, you are back at the far end of the property.
Yes, close to the TV compound.
Yep.
Okay, for me, that section of the course is tough. And in the back 9, well, the 17th hole right now will be very tough, and the 18 isn't that easy too. And considering that it are the 2 holes that you close your round, I think that there is where you are going to define who will win and who won't.
There you go.
Till the end. No?
Now, as someone from Peru, you got to be feeling pretty good this week. This has to tell me about the pride. You know, to be the center. I mean, from my perspective, you're the center of the golf world this week.
We feel it that way too. For us, it's an honor. We feel proud about that. From my end, I have been waiting like 8 years for this. I currently the vice president of the club, but I used to be the golf captain, and I was the one that was really involved in all the major changes of the golf course and trying to bring LAAC to Peru. As I think you know, we almost had it the year that the pandemic started, and then we were start talking about maybe doing again, and then we have some political issues that once again make us wait for it. But sometimes the third one is the final one, and we are very happy to receive everybody here, show our golf club, show our city, show our country that we feel very proud, and we think that we're a great host. So for us, making an event of this magnitude that we have never done before in this country is something that we feel very proud, and I think hearing Mark before, when we think about legacy, this will be part of our legacy and should help us to promote golf and improve in the numbers of players, and hopefully get our better players to play, and who knows, maybe we'll be professional. Although Lima Golf has always been keen that we promote amateur golf. Mm-hmm. No, we are not always. We never think about professional. Although we see you on TV. You know, we have we're a fan of some players, everything. But as a club, our mission is to promote the golf and in an amateur way.
Well, you couldn't be doing it any better than you're doing this week. This is as big as it gets for promoting amateur golf. I mean, amateur golf history will be made this week. Someone's life will be changed here at Lima Golf Club, which is it's an incredibly cool thing. As you say, a long time in the making. Hits and misses, and we're on and we're off. And is there a story or a moment from, say, over those last 8 years where you felt like maybe a story that says we can do this, or I'm not sure we can do this?
Good question. Well, more than thinking about the LAAC was that when, like 10 years ago, we did the South American Championship, the one that has been played last week in Argentina. And we did it 2 years in a row. And there I met Mark, Lawrie. So when I started to talk with him, I said, well, I'm the new captain of the club. And well, we would like to maybe we have heard about the LAAC, maybe we can do the LAAC. And he said, no, well, sorry, you cannot do it because although your golf course is incredible, the city is incredible, and you know that you're a great host, the facilities, if you don't have a good driving range, it's impossible to do major events. So we say, okay. And then they say, okay, forget all that, but at the same time, well, we're a club. I have studied a little bit our, all the people, all the members, and we know that we have more or less about 500 to 600 young kids. We would like to have a junior golf academy with 100 kids. And I said, sorry again, with your driving range, I think that will be impossible. If you don't have a good driving range, you will never get that amount of players. So I said, what are you saying? Well, in those days, we used to have, where right now you have the 10th tee, we have a driving range with 12 spots, and we had a net, 170 yards from where we hit. And he told me, no, you need at least 25 spots and you need at least 250 yards of carry. If not, you will never have good players, because a player is, although have to play golf in the course, is formed in the driving range. Sure. So after those things, I talked with the directors in those days and the past presidents, and Mark helped us and present us McKinsey and Everett. And they came here, we talked with them, we explained what we want. He understood the DNA of the club, and well, what we did at the end, we changed 2 tees, one green, and we changed one hole that was the 9th hole that used to be a par 4, and now it's a par 3. Okay. And now we have a double-ended driving range with 50 spots, 25 each side, with a distance of 330 yards between them. And well, we have to, doing that effort, we have to give back one shot. Now it's a par 71. That is one thing that all my members doesn't, they don't forgive me about that. But still, I think that the 8th and the 9th hole are more robust than the one that we used to have. Sure. And with all the major changes that we did, we changed all the bunkers, and the pound in the 17th hole is a very fun course for our members, but at the same time, it's still a very competitive course that now we are going to host the LAAC. So
you are hosting the LAAC. I'm looking at the range right now. Packed, and it seems to be functioning beautifully. We have wonderful targets out there, greens for guys to hit at. I see a lot of balls hitting them, which would...
It was funny because when we were doing the project, when we were talking about with the people on the net, as you see, we are surrounded by buildings, and always the neighbors. If we take a tree, they always have something to do. They have something to say, although they are not members and they don't maintain the golf course. So we were afraid when we were putting these posts of 40 meters and these nets. So when I was talking with a provider, I was saying, well, we want to do this driving range. We are thinking about putting this net. I said, well, our nets are very good. They can handle winds of this magnitude. And I said, forget about the wind. I need to be transparent. I need that the neighbors can see. What are you talking about? So we explained it to them. First, at the beginning, the neighbors didn't believe that wasn't going to be this way. And nowadays, we turn the light at night. And when we turn it off, some neighbors call, why don't you turn it for more time? It looks so nice. So at the end, it's part of, so now the neighbors enjoy also the view with a driving range and everything is calm, no?
I think, some courses have neighbors. You really have neighbors here as we look around at 10,000 windows from the high rises surrounding the golf course. So it's important to be a good neighbor. You're being a very good neighbor, bringing golfers from around all over Latin America here, from so many different countries, bringing people here to enjoy the golf. Like, we've come from far away as well. So it's just an incredibly exciting week. Members, they've got to be excited. Are the locals excited? What's the local vibe around having?
Well, although this is a club that, as I said, that is a golf club, and the main issue in our bylaws is to promote golf. This is a club that have grown a lot in the years, so now we have a lot of tennis players that they don't play golf, a lot of people that come to the gym that they don't play golf, and people that come here for social. So all the golf members are very proud. Some of the other members, they understand that good, but I think this is a good opportunity to understand the magnitude of this tournament, because we have been trying to explain during the last year, sending some message and letters to all the members to understand. But one thing is reading about it, and one other thing is breathing it. Right now we are starting to breathe it, and the comments of the members say, oh, now I understand, it's incredible, it's so beautiful. We have never seen the golf course with this presentation, so we feel very proud, and we hope that this will help us to get more juniors to play, and to the members that they don't play golf, send their kids to play golf and understand the importance and the opportunity that this golf course can give them to them.
Absolutely.
As playing this sport, no?
Yeah, if they didn't understand the magnitude, they're understanding it now. I would say today, as the golfers are out there playing and in their first practice round, and just the buzz around the place. But it's been funny, people are still showing up to play tennis.
Well, yes, that was the idea when we signed the document with the LAAC organization. We said, okay, we will give you the course and all the facility you need, but definitely we have to keep some tennis courses open, the gym open, and the family area open, so they won't complain, and everybody will be happy. And at the same time, we have the advantage that being in this, at the beginning of the year, here is totally different as the north of the hemisphere. We are in summer right now. So most of the members go to the south, to the beach. So at the same time, the club won't be crowded these days. So it will also facilitate that everybody here will feel comfortable and not crowded.
Perfect. And not only, and I'd say come Sunday, they'll put down their tennis rackets and they're going to come over.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
But you've not only done something exciting for folks in Peru, but I want to thank you, because I've never been to Peru. I've never had the opportunity, and this tournament is, I think, for all of us that are down here covering it or writing about it, it's just been such a wonderful opportunity for us to be here. We're not playing in the tournament, but anyone that's getting to experience Lima for the first time because of this, I think is very fortunate. As visitors, what are your recommendations for, as a local? Can you steer us in the right direction for some food?
Excellent question. Well, here as Peruvians, we feel proud of our food.
Yes.
It's the first thing that all the Peruvians agreed. We feel proud of our food. In the last year, the number one restaurant in the world is Peruvian. Of the 50 major restaurants of last year, 7 are from Lima. So Lima right now have more ranked restaurant than even Paris. So I recommend you to enjoy our food. Our food is a fusion of lots of foods. We have a very good Nikkei food. We have very good Chinese food. We have very good Italian food. All of them with our Peruvian ingredients and hands. So, and all the traditional one that we have a culture of 4,500 years, no?
Is that why the food's so good? Is it the ingredients?
It's the ingredients, the fusion of all the people that can come from other countries to live here, and their communities fusion their food with our food. So now we have our own dishes or own version of their food. So that has helped that when people that doesn't know nothing about Peruvian food go to a Peruvian restaurant, it's a friendly food because you will find foods that complements of other countries too. So it's easy to go, and then when you try, it says excellent. No, so I recommend you to go and eat all that you can.
I want to. I want to go to all those places. My dining budget might not be what I'd like it to be, so I want to spend more time with you, Álvaro, and kind of hang out with you at night and see where you go, and I'll just tag along.
I would love to take you wherever you want and show you all the good things of our country. Beautiful. Or our city.
So we've got food, but also Peru is a sports-loving country. Where does golf fit into the scene there? I imagine football is top of the pyramid.
Yes. Well, first of all, being Latin, South America, football is the sport that moves everything. Is the only sport that you have live TV, okay, on a daily basis. It's more played by men, but lately women are starting to play a lot. Peru is also known, when you are talking about women, volley. The Peruvian volley women team has done good during time. But
volley?
Sorry, volley. Volleyball, yes.
Oh, volleyball.
Volleyball, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I said volleyball. No. But lately, in the last few decades, we have been the world champions in surfing. We have more than 2,000 kilometers of coast in all the country.
Saw a lot of surfers out there.
There are a lot of surfers, good quality of surfers. It's very easy to access to do that sport. And that's a good introduction to split the situation of golf. Golf is the other side of the coin. Here is a sport that is considered that only is very difficult to access. You have to be a member of a club. And here we have in all Peru less than 10 clubs or golf courses. Of those 10, at least 3 or 4 are only 9 holes. So it's a small community, golf community. We are always trying to make it bigger, but it depends on the juniors, academies, and the attitude of each club, how they want to handle it. So for us, doing the LAAC, doing the opportunity of having an event, a sport event in Peru that will be live on TV 4 days, is something that we have only seen in football, not even with the Pan American and other sports. So we feel really proud of what we are bringing here, and that's why we have made that the government understand the importance of it, and they have signed a document of understanding and giving the importance of this tournament for this, and this for the first time. So we feel very proud about that, no?
As you should. So Peru's golf story is still being written, but it could take off in a big way, hopefully, after a week like this.
With these kind of events, definitely should help to make it more popular and understand that it's not an elite sport, And there is a pending situation about the government that should try to help us to open new courses that will be open to everybody, no? And that's what the Federation is working a lot, and the RNA is helping us. Right now we have a project that will have a few years that they have been investing in a golf course and helping people in those cities, in that area, to bring those kids from that there are people with not the same economic possibilities, and they're starting to play. Some of them have represented already Peru, and I think the Federation is doing a good job in that matter with the help of the RNA. So hopefully, with the help of the government, the Federation, and the RNA, we can help to spread this sport that we love more in this country.
Well done. Well, thank you for being a part of that and having us here this week. You're wonderful hosts, and man, this is going to be a lot of fun. I think there goes some of Team Peru right there going off.
No, those are Panamas.
Oh, Panama.
Yeah, they have the same colors, but I recognize the flag. Yes, but we are red and white.
It's so cool. There's Panama, there's Peru, there's Colombia. Like it's there's an Olympics vibe to it.
Yeah, it's incredible. Well, yes, to have that's amazing of this tournament, no? And it's a great idea of Augusta, well held with the USGA and also the support of the RNA. For us in Latin America, that we have to try to get more players and have more people in the tour with these kind of events, and the way it's handled, that is almost like it was a PGA Tour tournament, should motivate that young players start to dream of first playing the LAAC, and then seeing the possibility of maybe paying their studies or being a professional or live of golf. That is a sport that everybody that's here love it.
No doubt about it. Álvaro, can't thank you enough. Thanks so much.
Thank you.